Hey guys, what's up? It's been a while since I did a review, so I'm gonna do one for you. But first, I want to tell you the great news. I got a puppy. She's awesome. The only bad thing is she keeps pooping everywhere. But, it's just how this goes. I mean, she's just a baby. She don't know how to poop yet. I'm gonna go get an album to review. Hang on a second. Oh! I stepped in poop. Look! Ugh. 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 Is it really... Ugh. What do you mean? You want me to review that? I don't review poop on this channel. Do you guys think there's someone actually out there who, poops and reviews it? Do you think I could corner the market on it? Never mind. Well, this piece of crap is the new Suicide Silence album. If you're not into heavy music, this wonderful gem of an album has been stirring up a lot of controversy in the scene lately due to the fact it doesn't sound anything like Suicide Silence, primarily. I guess I'll throw my 2 cents in here. There yet. Throw my 5 cents in. What do I think of it? Well, musically, it's okay. It doesn't do anything amazing. It sounds like a bizarre mix between Deftones, Korn, and maybe a tiny bit of Suicide Silence, especially on some of the more mid-level tracks like Hold Me Up, Hold Me Down, which stupidest track name I think I've heard in a while. I don't know. I'm very critical of track names, which Men in Glass Houses. I mean, I do call myself Adamsaurus, and I am not a dinosaur. Yet. I mean, I figure someday they're going to probably be able to splice me with Ankylosaurus DNA, and then I can just be fat and lazy and just lay there all the time. Back to the review. The music is decently executed, but the main issue is it doesn't sound like Suicide Silence. At least that is my main issue. Now, take my opinion with a grain of salt. I am not a huge deathcore fan to begin with, but I find this album to be somewhat lacking in identity, if I had to give a name to what I think of it. It's not horrible by any means. No, actually, it's incredibly mediocre, so... I suppose mediocre's not horrible, but it's just mediocre. Again, preface, I'm not a huge Suicide Silence fan or deathcore fan, but No Time to Bleed I thought was very well executed, and it kind of branded their sound, if you understand what I'm trying to say. That is the Suicide Silence sound we've come to know through their self-titled EP, The Cleansing, and No Time to Bleed. That's the identity they created for themselves. Then they shifted away from it a little bit with Black Crown. There was definitely a alternative metal or nu metal influence with that album that I felt didn't really work for it, but I was like, hey, you're allowed to experiment a little. Then they diminished that greatly for You Can't Stop Me after Lucker passed away, which, was a comeback album. They couldn't just do something completely different. But now, with this fossilized piece of dog crap, they did something completely different! Sort of. Like I said, it's almost like a Frankenstein human centipede amalgamation. I can't speak English today, guys. That really just doesn't work. It's not... If you locked me in a room and made me listen to this, I wouldn't complain that much. I mean, there's worse things out there. I mean, you could make me listen to Broken Side. I would probably chew my own wrists open. I mean, it's not that bad, but it's not that great. It doesn't sound anything like Suicide Silence. Their vocalist, whose name escapes me at the moment, he doesn't sing that good. And if I read the liner notes of this correctly, I don't think he actually does most of the clean singing. I think somebody else does, and they're not exactly good at it either. I don't know. I don't think that this album is going to... Let me back up here. I remember reading an article somewhere. I want to say Metal Hammer. maybe, where they said when they were trying to hype this album up until it came out last month, that it was going to leave a huge, lasting impact on the metal scene. And I agree with you on that. I think it's going to leave an impact about what not to do. Like, I've heard the band up until it was released hype it so much and say that it's gonna redefine deathcore. Yeah, you're right, it does redefine deathcore, because it's not deathcore! Which, granted, as I said, I'm not a big deathcore fan, but that would be like me recording a polka album and saying it's death metal. It just doesn't work. Ugh. So, oh, and I usually go into the lyrics, too. Yeah, the lyrics are incredibly mediocre as well. Like, this whole album, if I had one of those rubber red stampy thingies, I'd just be like, mediocre. Is it horrible? No, I mean, you could be listening to, like, Broken Side or Justin Bieber. But as far as, like, great metal albums go, I don't think this is going to be touching, like, Master of Puppets or Paranoid or British Steel or... I don't know. I can't think of any other great metal albums. Apparently, I'm not very well versed. I really should probably find a different hobby then. Maybe I'll start my YouTube pooping channel. Call it The Pooperator. Or Poopatrator. Alright. That's enough of me rambling for one night. Remember, give this video a like and a subscribe maybe. And have yourselves a wonderful evening, guys.